Hi everyone, so today I'm going to go over the wax that I warm and melted the past 2 to 2.5 weeks or so. I don't have a lot, so I'm also going to talk more in depth or give mini reviews on each of them. So I do have some vendor wax, small business, one Scentsy, and some candles that I warmed in my candle crock. I didn't use the same warmers for each of them, so I'm going to go over that once I talk about that particular wax. But to go in order, let's see, I think the first one that I did was this wax that I got from Etsy from a small business. So this one we have is from Teresa Lyn Simple. Here's her logo right there. So I believe I talked about this in another what I warm and melted, but I used 2 cubes instead of 1. Here's how it looks like. So the first time I used 1 cube and this time I used 2. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was the type of warmer that I was using, or maybe it's just the wax or perhaps the scent itself, but I didn't really get much throw out of it. I would categorize this as a light fragrance. One thing that I noticed, however, is that despite that it's a light fragrance, I feel like it lasts a good 2 days, but it's light. So I think I would put this more in a bathroom setting. I don't have any warmers outside of my medium-sized bedroom. So that's a con, just because, I don't know, I guess my family isn't really too much into scents besides plugins in one specific bathroom. It's a bit weird, I know. But anyways, I think this would work better if I had a tea light warmer, just because it gets a bit hotter, and perhaps maybe for soy wax, I do know that the burn time, if you're burning a candle, it takes a while to really heat up and stuff. But no matter how long I left this in my 25-watt Scentsy warmer, I just don't know if it got hot enough. So yeah, that's the con part about it. This was a mystery scent, so it was slightly discounted. The scent itself, it reminds me of very polished leather and perhaps polished wood as well. I wouldn't say that the leather smells worn or dusty, and neither does the woody cord in here. I feel like it's a very nice, more masculine leaning scent. I don't think that I would go out of my way to purchase it, but I think I am enjoying it. However, I do want to buy or purchase a Julienne warmer, but I have a notification on because right now it's $24.99 on Amazon, and I want to pay less than $24.99. I don't know, it's a few bucks, but I think that one gets good reviews in Facebook groups. I don't have a Facebook, but I have seen people mention it in their YouTube channels and videos that they really enjoy the Julienne warmers. So I'm going to save this and either use it in my hot plate warmer the next time, or I'm going to wait until I one day have a Julienne warmer. So there is that. Overall thoughts, it's light, but it does last a long time. And I feel like it would perform better, but I just haven't found the right warmer. This time I added 1 more cube, and that did help marginally, but I think it's maybe the type of warmer that I'm using. Okay, next one. Here we have a free sample that I got from my recent order from Eerie Vibes on Etsy. This was just a really small sample of her coffee fragrance called Coffee Ritual. I don't know why I got tongue-tied, but I do know that the scent is reformulated. I don't know exactly how it changed because I didn't have it before the reformulation. So I have my notes on the back, and on the Etsy listing it says, stepping into your favorite coffee shop with dark roasted beans, hint of chocolate. And then on the scent description, there's a little bit more info. It says oak aged liqueur, vanilla creme or cream, and that it's supposed to last 3 to 4 days. Okay, so what did I think about this? I believe when I measured or I weighed it, it was 0.8 ounces. So I think that with Eerie Vibes, they use, I believe, a full 100% paraffin type of a wax composition. So I feel like, again, I would have benefited from a hot plate warmer, just because I think for this paraffin wax, it was pretty hard. So it did take a while to melt and really throw the scent. The scent itself, I really enjoyed. I'm a fan of coffee fragrances, and I feel like this was a very bold, dark roast. Hardly any sweetness, hardly any lactonic notes, creamy notes. So this reminds me of walking into a coffee shop and someone's holding a straight up just mug of black coffee. You know, they're trying to get through their day. Not a lot of bells and whistles, not a lot of sugar, not a lot of anything else. It reminded me a little bit of Paris Cafe from Bath and Body Works, just minus the baroche. But why it reminded me of it? Because of the intensity of the coffee. So I do like it. I don't know if I would purchase this because Again, I've had better luck with the throw for other companies or vendors. So I would say this one was a light medium to medium, and I believe this one lasted 1 day in my Scentsy warmer. Okay, so one that didn't really work in my favor. Here we have a Lush Bath and Aroma Melt. Let me set that down right here. Here is the wrapping. So it is in MySpace. So with these, it's a dual product. You can use it in your bath or you can use it in your warmer. So this one says, bathe amongst the stars with a deep atmospheric blend of calming chamomile and rich ylang ylang. So with this one, I initially just used 2 cubes and I thought, okay, let me go ahead and like see how this performs. And then it just wasn't really strong. It was pretty light. And I thought, okay, let me add 2 more cubes. But I think no matter how many cubes I added, I just am not going to get the intensity that I wanted from it. So with this one, I didn't use my Scentsy warmer because I had a feeling it would mess up the Scentsy warmer and I would have to do the cotton ball method for removing the wax. And so I used my hot plate warmer. I checked the bottom and it's a 20 watt. So I've tried to remove this wax for like the past 2 days and I do not want to soak up the wax, but I feel like it's going to have to come to that because I tried the freezer method trick. I tried to maybe just melt it a little bit and it's just not going. Oh, and here's like the knife I tried using. So yeah, while I do enjoy it, I feel like this would benefit from those wax melt liners, either the disposable ones or perhaps even the silicone ones. They can just pop it out. I'm also looking for that, or that's going to be in the order along with the julienne warmer that I plan to have one day. Yeah, this was like really messy and I just don't like using cotton balls. 1 cotton ball is fine, but for that to be my primary method, especially with 4 wax cubes in here, is just not for me. So anyways, to talk about the scent itself, I feel like it is very airy, atmospheric, and there are some soft florals. I noticed that I like the scent a bit more in the beginning because as it progressed, I feel like it became more and more like of a soft, powdery floral. And I liked it more when it was a bit more like aquatic, refreshing, atmospheric. And I definitely get the ylang ylang, and I think I get the chamomile a bit more in the beginning, but it kind of not burns away, but I feel like that's the scent that kind of dissipates the quickest. So yeah, I think if you like refreshing or like clean type scents from vendors, you might like this one, but I don't know. I'm not having the best of luck with these Lush wax melts, and I definitely do not like that I have to use like a wax liner, or the cleanup is a bit of a struggle for me. So I'm glad I didn't use that in the Scentsy warmer, or I would have been so upset. But anyways, let's go on to 2 waxes from TheCandleNurse, and I'm going to show them together because they're very similar. So we have Guss's Bakery and the Sunnyside Diner. So you might notice that the fragrance notes are very similar. So for Guss's Bakery, we have fresh baked bread, salty pretzel, powdered and glazed donuts, plus cupcakes at Tiffany's. Whereas the Sunnyside Diner, we have fresh baked bread, pretzel, powdered glazed donuts. So the only difference is that Guss's Bakery has salty pretzel listed. I don't know if it's any different from the regular pretzel. Guss's Bakery has the addition of cupcakes at Tiffany. Different pour dates, if you do want to like notice right there. They're off by like a few weeks or so. So first I warmed Guss's Bakery and I just did one of the shapes and stuff. I believe the shape that I chose was like either 0.6. Yeah, I think it was 0.6 for both of them. For Guss's Bakery, I feel like I was expecting it to be stronger than the Sunnyside Diner. It is very light and I do get a prominent bread note, but I think it's overtaken by the sweetness of either the glazed cupcake note or perhaps the cupcakes at Tiffany's. It might be that because I am getting a little bit of like this like very, very light chocolate note, which I'm not too familiar with cupcakes at Tiffany's, but I feel like it might be that. So with this one, I think this has been so far one of my lighter TheCandleNurse fragrances. I warmed this in my Scentsy warmer and I think it only lasted a little bit less than a day. I would say like a total of 8 hours or so. Normally I get a more intense fragrance, but this one I would say it was kind of like low medium, and it was the strongest for the 3-hour mark. So it wasn't really intense the whole entire time I warmed it. It kind of like dwindled down. While I do like the scent, I think out of these 2, I like the Sunnyside Diner a bit more. So with this one, I thought, oh, well, Guss's Bakery has the addition of cupcakes at Tiffany's. It should be stronger. But for some reason, even though also that this one was poured afterwards, I would assume that this one was stronger. But no, Sunnyside Diner, I get more of a predominant white baked bread. However, it's still pretty sweet. And I think the main note that I get from the Sunnyside Diner is the pretzel note for sure, combined with the fresh baked bread, because I feel like I don't get much of the glazed aspect or the powdered donuts. Like I don't get like a cinnamon note. I don't really get too much of a sugar powder type note. So yeah, overall these two are nice. I think if I had to choose between these two, I would recommend the Sunnyside Diner, even though Guss's Bakery is sweeter. Would I repurchase these two? I would say no, because I feel like I feel like I'm finding that I like Emily's more complex, perhaps more perfumey fragrances. I did place an order for her RTS sale where she did some discounted, oh gosh, what's the what's the collection called? Jericho or Jericho series that she came out recently for her pre-order that has already passed. And she did some fall offerings, and I did opt for the gourmand option. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these two were light medium and they only lasted a day, whereas other fragrances from Emily, they last like about 2 days. So okay, let's go on to the last scent that I'm warming, and it is from Scentsy. I actually got this from Emily from a giveaway, I think her 250 subscriber giveaway, and I did write the fragrance notes. So for sugared strawberry, we have strawberries, juicy currants. Oh, I don't know why I put California lemons, maybe? Yeah, maybe California lemons. I did 2 cubes, and wow, I really enjoyed this one. It's very juicy, very kiddish, almost reminds me of like Red Starburst. Very fun. I mean, this, like, it's not complicated at all. And I think it might be a little bit too artificial for some people. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing too realistic about it. It legit reminds me of candy. Very much like the other Scentsy bar that I used. I don't know if it was like Cake Me to Paradise or another like spring summer offering, but yeah, no, this one was super intense in my medium-sized bedroom. I feel like it lasted, well, because I'm still currently warming it, I would say that it lasted a good solid day. And in terms of strength, I would definitely give this a high strength for this particular fragrance. Again, I did warm this in my medium-sized bedroom, and I did have the door slightly, like halfway closed, and it did travel partially into the hallway. So I would almost say that this could fill up my open concept bedroom. Again, I don't have a lot of warmers. I just have the one warmer. So there is that. Yeah, I really like the scent. If I was into Scentsy or if I purchased from Scentsy, I would definitely rebuy this. But again, you have to like very fun, cutesy, almost childish scents. Like if you like sweet candy type fragrances, this would be the one for you. Okay, so I did use my candle crock this the last 2 weeks. We have one from Goose Creek Limoncello Cupcake. So this one, the fragrance notes are pound cake, lemon, and creamy icing. So I did burn this, but then it just got a little bit murky, and I feel like I wasn't enjoying the scent while it was burning. I feel like the lemon was just off, or I don't know if it was the pound cake that was off. It almost gave me this cleaner lemon vibe, which that hardly ever happens with me. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll like it a little bit better before the scent totally changes if I burn it more. So I popped this in my candle crock, and wow, I did enjoy the fragrance a lot more. I felt like the creamy aspect of the pound cake, the icing came out a bit more, and I feel like the lemon note that was starting to tarnish kind of like auto-corrected itself in the crock. So I think I still have one more use, but this is pretty much done. I can't light this because the wick, especially that one, has already shifted, but I did enjoy this. So I feel like some Goose Creek candles do take on that like burnt kerosene scent, much like how certain Bath and Body Works ones, they get murky midway or the scent really changes. Oh, and before I forget, I did not purchase this candle. My friend Lizzie gave this to me and included it in some friend mail. So initially when I was burning it, I thought, oh, I don't really like it, but I know she mentioned that this was one of her favorites. So while burning, this was more of like a light, yeah, like light fragrance. I would give it 5 5 or 6 out of 10 in terms of strength and throw. Very little projection, but in the candle crock, it filled up my medium-sized bedroom, and I felt like it was more of a medium. So it definitely amped up a bit, and I would look for this in a wax melt format if Goose Creek offers that. So yeah, here is this one. And then I decided to end it off with one of my favorite fragrances from Yankee. I haven't found it, and unfortunately my Big Lots is closing, which is where I found this one. So it was just a discounted pink jasmine and vanilla. Surprisingly, I tried this in my candle crock for like a day and a half, and it wasn't really strong. I was like, what the heck? But then when I put it under my top down candle warmer, specifically it's the Hestia candle warmer, and wow, did it perform a lot better. So this was like the odd case of where the top down candle warmer outperformed the candle crock. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe this is like too much wax, or it could just be that I had it on like super high, like you can tell. It melted that much. So yeah, so far I haven't poured off any layer of wax, but I have a feeling with the candle lamp it's going to last me forever and a day, just because if you want to extend the life of your candles and you don't want to, you know, burn them the traditional way, a candle lamp is definitely a good option, especially one that gets that hot, because the Hestia one does have a timer and a dimmer switch. So you can have that on like really high intensity, very bright, but you might use your bulbs or burn through your bulbs pretty quickly. So yeah, that is everything that I warmed or melted the past like 2.5 weeks, something like that. If I had to choose favorites, it would definitely be this Scentsy sugared strawberry. I really enjoy it, and I know it's artificial, but it's very candy-like and it brings a smile to my face. And I think it was the one that was the strongest. Yes, the strongest out of all the ones here. If I had to choose my least favorite, I think I'd have to give it to this one, the mystery scent from Teresa Lyn Simple, just because I don't know if it's light, but it didn't really perform well. I mean, I'm still going to try. Maybe, you know, once I put it in a tea light or a different wax warmer, it'll just like come to life. But as of right now, it hasn't. So yeah, overall, those have been my thoughts and opinions on what I warmed and melted. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.